Interesting week, man. I mean, look, we all talk about how much there's no volatility, and that's okay. But there's been a lot of activity, a lot of different things happening under the hood. Let's move to the next slide. It was this is essentially, I mean, we're out of a bear market, right? I mean, 20%.
Oh man, another one declaring it a bull market.
I'm just saying. Things are. I say it because it shows up in all of the names. Look what. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about. Look what Tesla's doing. Look what all these other names are doing. There's movement everywhere, and it's low volatility. It's not like it's bear market activity. You got to call it what it is, Tom. You know what I mean? I call it like it is. You know that I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah,
I don't say all the BS that they say in other media. I say the real. I say the real. Okay, just accept it. It is what it is. I'm getting hyped for the weekend, man. I'm hyped, man. It's you and me, man. You and me.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to. IWM had its 2 largest call volume days ever this week. That's been a big trade recently. We got a slide on that, but big movement in IWM. Bank of Canada and Bank of Australia, they had surprising rate hikes this week. I really don't think they were surprising. I think they're trying to keep up, and maybe they just have an idea that we're going to give another rate hike. Everybody's still wondering. I don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know if it's June or July, but these guys pushed rate hikes. Tom, Tony, SEC, well, they have lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase. Is this going to be a big deal or what?
I think it is going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to be a big deal in the sense. I don't think it's going to be a big deal in the sense of like what the. It's going to be a big deal to. Well, forget about Binance. I don't think it's going to be a big deal to Coinbase, in money wise. I think it's going to be a big deal for the future of crypto.
You do,
yeah.
On a positive note, you're saying.
On a positive note, I think this is the moment. This is the tipping point.
This is the fight. This is the pit. This is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're different, right? Like, you know, the whole Binance thing was the CEO was putting money in the wrong places or whatever, right? Taken from the rich, taken from the poor, given to the rich. And Coinbase is different. I mean, they're saying they've been unlicensed since 2019 and they've just been doing things they're not supposed to do. So these are interesting and different lawsuits, but it's a few. This is going to be the few. This is it. This is the skew in the timeline.
Yeah, but it's important, it's important for us and for all other online brokers who have been trying to incorporate digital assets into our product mix, because we think it's important for customers to, have access to everything. Like one of the things I don't think is talked about a lot is that, people go to FTX and Binance and places like that because the American online brokers, don't know what to do. So basically you're pushing people into platforms overseas that, obviously there's issues when we don't have any of those issues because, none of our funds are commingled. Everything's held separately. Everything's under different regulatory bodies. But you are pushing our customers into these other companies because you don't allow us to offer any of the features.
Into a black hole.
Yeah. And so and then when we do something, you say, oh, you guys shouldn't do that. But then you don't want us to send customers to FTX, do you? Right. Like, I don't know. Nobody knows what to do. So this is a really important lawsuit. And I think we talked about this morning. I think all these crypto firms need to get together and they need to fight the SEC, and even online brokers, like Tasty and Robinhood and Interactive Brokers. We all need to get in the battle. We all need to go to battle with the SEC over this. Has to be done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I'm going to break it down for the people. Basically, Tom is saying that all the ladies are being pushed to the bad boys because the nice guys aren't allowed to do the things that the bad boys can do. I hear what you're saying, Tom. There you go.
Exactly.
Carvana, have you guys seen this move in Carvana recently? The stock is...
Yeah, we saw it.
Is it the next meme stock or what? It's nuts. Has the vol look? I don't know. I'm keeping
a tough one to trade.
It's pretty crazy. At 1365, the VIX, this is the lowest close to the VIX since February of 2020, right before the pandemic. Let's move to the next slide. You remember this chart I showed you a couple weeks ago, and it reversed. It's bounced off the lows. Where to go from here, I don't know, but there's IWM has outperformed the Qs by 6% this week.
Yeah, that was until yesterday, though.
Until yesterday. Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, okay? I mean, what do you want? I mean, it's 6% move. It's a big 6% move. It's a big one. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Where's Beeks? WASD report comes out today. I couldn't resist, man. At 12 Eastern.
That's a reference where a lot of kids won't get it, but it's classic.
You guys been doing anything in any of the grains? Soybeans is actually up. IVR is pretty high. One of these is wrong. It doesn't matter. You doing anything in grains recently?
We have a position on in ZC. The IV ranks pretty high in ZC.
46. Wheat's more like in the teens, and soybeans are more like 20.
Corn's the highest. 20 in soybeans. We haven't done anything in there, right? We have nothing in there right now, but we had something in there. We just took it off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know a lot of people look at that report. It's coming out today. We'll see if it makes markets move a little bit. Let's move to the next slide. VIX average daily option volume. This is monthly over the past, I guess, 4 years. 2019 was 4 years ago. Monthly volume. This is the highest monthly volume. This is just to date so far, up through June 8th. But this is the average monthly volume for VIX, and this is the highest we've seen since March of 2020. It's probably nothing.
Yeah, I think I really don't think it's anything. I think it's more of, I just think there's a lot of interest right now.
Yeah, at these levels.
That's all.
Yeah, at these levels, it's clearly showing there's a lot of interest in VIX. I'm sure a lot of people, you can probably talk to a lot of people who might be watching the show. And I've heard a lot of people already say how they've been long the VXM, the micro VIX, and more. I'm sure there's some people who have some calls and whatever. They're taking a shot at these levels. Let's move ahead to the next slide. So things look pretty calm for June and July. Of course, we got the Fed meeting and CPI next week, and then June expiration. So, could be some stuff happen. But honestly, there's not a whole lot. If you look at the baseline of this curve, it's between, I'm not even going to count 12, but sure, between 12 and 16 for SPY forward curve for vol IV. Things are pretty calm, as they should be for the most part. So, yeah, don't expect a whole lot. There's no real catalyst on the horizon is what I'm saying here. Let's move ahead to the next slide. So regional banks, this, of course, we talked about the move in IWM this week and small caps. A lot of it has to do with regional banks, and regional banks are up 14% in June, but they're still down 24% year to date. Buy now, pay later stock, AFRM, and other stocks has been kind of going parabolic recently. It's still in the teens, I believe, but they announced a partnership with Amazon as far as payments go. Apple, that whole thing was a dud, honestly. Everybody was expecting more, of course, from that WWDC, but fairly not much of a non-event. And as usual for WWDC, it rallied a little bit into it and then faded. Tesla's rally lasted 10 days so far. Today will be 11. The stock's been on the move. This is the second longest streak since the second longest streak to the Jan 2021 streak that it had. We got May CPI coming up on Tuesday, FOMC on Wednesday. The idea has been this whole talk of a skip, right? Going over this one, possibly raising in July. We'll see what happens. Supposed to be a pretty big OPEX coming up on next Friday. And then CVAR is joining the party, was the research I like this week of Market Measure. It's added to the platform now, people, so check it out.
Easy to do. You just go to the wheel and you'll see it right there when you're looking at your trades, on your trades.
Yes, sir.
Good job. Good job. Sadnov, closing points? Anything to add?
No.
You're amazing. We're going to take a quick 90-second break and come back. We got more Tasty Live after this. Jamal, great job.
Thanks, guys.
See you in Dallas, sir.
There.
In Dallas.